The Chinese government's influence over TikTok, owned by the Beijing company ByteDance, at its core, TikTok's ultimate control by the Chinese Communist Party, or CCP for short, means that the app could be leveraged as a tool for state surveillance, censorship, and the dissemination of propaganda. One of the primary concerns is the potential for the CCP to access the vast troves of user data collected by TikTok. The app's algorithms gather extensive information on individuals' interests, locations, online behavior, and even biometric data like face prints and voice prints. This treasure trove of personal data would provide the Chinese government with a powerful tool for mass surveillance, social control, and intelligence gathering on a global scale. In the hands of an authoritarian regime like China's, this data could be exploited for espionage, blackmail, or other nefarious purposes that undermine US interests and values. For instance, the CCP could use location data to track the movements of US government employees or military personnel, potentially compromising national security operations. Biometric data like face prints and voice prints could be used to identify and monitor dissidents, human rights activists, or individuals critical of the Chinese government both within China and abroad. Additionally, the CCP could leverage personal data on US citizens for blackmail or coercion, potentially targeting individuals in positions of power or influence. Moreover, the CCP's tight grip on media and internet platforms within China raises alarms about the potential for political interference and propaganda on TikTok. The regime has a well-documented history of censoring content and narratives that challenge its authority or contradict its official narratives. With influence over TikTok's content moderation policies, the CCP could potentially suppress viewpoints critical of the Chinese government or amplify pro-Beijing narratives. The app's powerful algorithms, which curate and recommend content to users based on their interests and behavior, could be manipulated to push specific political agendas or ideological messages. For example, TikTok has allowed and even promoted the spread of racist and anti-Semitic content on the platform. Additionally, there have been concerning reports of a surge in TikTok videos glorifying Osama bin Laden and other extremist figures, which could be indicative of the platform's algorithms amplifying radical or inflammatory content. Such influence operations could have far-reaching implications, particularly among TikTok's predominantly young user base. Studies after studies prove how children's minds are like sponges and believe what they see on TikTok. Through subtle shifts in content recommendations and moderation practices, the app could shape the political views and perceptions of an entire generation, potentially swaying public opinion on key geopolitical issues like Taiwan, trade disputes, or international alliances. This power to manipulate information flows and public discourse represents a disturbing political trend that threatens the free exchange of ideas and open democratic debate. Another area of concern is the CCP's track record of using technology for social control and human rights abuses. The regime has implemented pervasive surveillance systems, facial recognition technologies, and social credit systems to monitor and suppress dissent within China. With access to TikTok's data and algorithms, similar tactics could potentially be exported to the United States, threatening civil liberties and democratic values. Furthermore, the legal and regulatory environment in China requires companies like ByteDance to comply with the CCP's demands for data and cooperation. Under China's national intelligence law and other regulations, firms have no choice but to share information and provide assistance to the Chinese government's intelligence agencies. This lack of judicial oversight and personal privacy protections amplifies the risks associated with a Chinese company operating a platform as influential as TikTok. However, while the concerns about the Chinese government's potential influence over TikTok are valid, banning the app entirely may not be the best solution. Such a move could have unintended consequences and set a concerning precedent for internet freedom and innovation. First, a TikTok ban would deprive millions of Americans, particularly young people, of a beloved platform for creative expression and entertainment. The app has become a cultural phenomenon, fostering new art forms, memes, and viral trends that have brought joy and connection to countless users. Banning it could be seen as an overreach of government authority and a restriction on free speech. Second is the significant business presence and economic impact TikTok has cultivated. Countless small businesses, entrepreneurs, and content creators now rely on TikTok as a vital marketing and revenue stream. The app's powerful algorithm and engaged user base have allowed many to build successful brands, reach new customers, and even run their entire business operations through the platform. An outright ban could deal a devastating blow to these entrepreneurial endeavors, stifling economic growth and innovation at a time when small businesses are already facing numerous challenges from inflation, supply chain issues, and labor shortages. For many up-and-coming brands and creators, TikTok represents an unparalleled platform for cost-effective marketing and audience building. Take the example of fashion brands like Essex LLC and Palace that have leveraged TikTok to go viral and drive massive sales through short-form video marketing. By tapping into TikTok trends and cultivating a loyal following, these brands were able to rapidly grow awareness and revenue without the typical high cost of traditional advertising. A TikTok ban could pull the rug out from under similar businesses that rely on the app for discovery and growth hacking. Or look at TikTok influencers and content creators who have monetized their followings into full-time careers by promoting products and services on the app. From makeup artists to chefs like Alexis Nicole Nelson, who turned her viral TikTok cooking videos into a thriving business, to comedians like Kabi Lami, who became one of the highest-earning creators, the platform has enabled a new class of entrepreneurial creative professionals. Without TikTok as a monetization channel, these self-made careers could be jeopardized, impacting livelihoods and limiting opportunities in the creator economy. Take Nelson, for example, who went from recording simple recipes in her Ohio kitchen to amassing over 5 million followers, scoring partnerships with brands like Kraft, and launching her own line of kitchen tools and merchandise off the back of her TikTok fame. Lawmakers must carefully weigh the potential disruption to the livelihoods of these TikTok-based businesses against the proposed national security benefits of a ban. Beyond individual creators, major brands like NFL teams, musicians, and publishers have built TikTok strategies and presences. Banning it could cut off a prime marketing channel and force costly rebuilds on other platforms, creating economic inefficiencies and losses. Third, a ban could stifle innovation and competition in the tech industry. TikTok's success has pushed other social media giants like Meta, Snap, and Twitter to innovate and adapt their platforms to keep up. The competitive pressure from TikTok's meteoric rise has directly driven companies to introduce new short-form video features like Instagram Reels, Snapchat Spotlight, and YouTube Shorts in an effort to retain creators and viewers. Meta has reportedly restructured teams and prioritized AI recommendation algorithms to better compete with TikTok's powerful For You feed. Removing a major disruptive player like TikTok from the market could reduce the incentive for incumbent tech firms to continue rapidly innovating and catering to evolving user demands. Without the looming threat of being displaced by the next viral app or platform, big tech companies may become complacent and less responsive to changing digital media consumption habits and preferences. Healthy competition fosters innovation, and banning TikTok eliminates a driving force that has benefited consumers and accelerated new feature development across rival social apps. TikTok is a powerful and impactful app, but with great virality comes responsibility. Banning it feels like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Instead, let's hold TikTok accountable for data privacy and user safety, while we, the viewers, become more mindful consumers. Do you think TikTok should be banned? Let me know in the comments below. Hit like and subscribe for more.